Hello and welcome back to our Rusteroids tutorial. In this episode we'll be adding in some stars to the background of the game, a purely aesthetic change, but one that will add a bit of spice to the visuals. As usual, let's check we have the code from the previous tutorial working by running cargo run. And if you don't see this, you can do git checkout tutorial 14 to get the code from the previous tutorial. The first thing we want to do is create a new type, and we do that by navigating to the component.rs file. And, as with all the other components, we want to derive from component. Then we create a public struct called star, and this contains a variable called size of type U32. Then we go to our main.rs file and scroll down to where we register our new types. And we register our new component type of star here. Then we go to our game file and scroll to the load world function. Above this function, we create a constant called number of stars and set the type to U32 and the value equal to 45. Then we scroll to the bottom of the load world function, just underneath where we created our game data instance in a previous tutorial. Now we'll create a loop, looping through all of the numbers between 0 and the number of stars constant we created above. We use an underscore after the 4 because we want to ignore the value returned by the iterator. Then we want to create a variable to hold a reference to the random number generator. We'll call this RNG for random number generator. Under this, we create a variable called star x, which will hold the x coordinate of the new star, and this will be in the range 0.0 to game width. Remember to cast it as f64. Underneath, we will do the same for star y, remembering to generate a number in the range 0.0 to game height, and again remembering to cast to f64. We're also going to generate a random size for each star to give some variation in the stars. This will be in the range 1, 2, and including 3. Then we need to create the entities for each star by calling ecs.createEntity. And that will be with a component's position using the x and y coordinates generated above for star x and star y, and a rotation of 0.0. Then we will add another component of type component star and use the randomly generated size as the value of the size variable in the star instance. And finally build on the end to finalize it. Then we navigate back to the main.rs file and scroll up to the render function at the top of the file. We want to render the new stars before anything else, but we do need the positions, so we create a new scope underneath the positions variable. Then we will set the canvas draw color using the setDrawColor function to 255, 255, 255 and an opacity of 128, which is white with a 50% transparency. Then we need to get a read storage reference to the stars from the ECS. Then we create a loop through them all by calling for possStar in and positions and stars with .join on the end. Then for each of these, we'll call canvas.fillRect, passing in a rect new with pos.x as i32, pos.y as i32, and then star.size and star.size, remembering the question mark on the end. Then we run cargo run to check the code, and we can see that it works. We have a backdrop of stars which helps fill in what would otherwise be dead space in the game view. And we can see that every time the player dies, we generate new stars. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I really enjoy reading all of your comments and I'm very grateful to everyone who's taken the time to do so. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification buttons to be notified when the next video is out. For now though, I wish you a good day and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.